If you have always labeled yourself as an introvert, you may enjoy this conversation and understanding the difference between introversion and extroversion, but also comparing it to a state of being empathic. My name is Michelle Lee, and I help people transform their lives through inner healing and overcoming limiting beliefs and unconscious patterns. One day it just hit me like an aha moment that I may not actually be introverted, which is something that I've thought my entire life. I'm sure you've probably heard of the difference between an introvert and an extrovert, and it's a discussion that I've had with a lot of people over a lot of years of being a therapist and people trying to understand themselves. I, throughout most of my life, up until just recently, maybe a month ago, always labeled myself as an introvert. I was very shy and quiet as a child, unless I really felt safe in an environment or with particular people. Since learning more about empaths and how that affects people, and really understanding how that has impacted my life, being very empathic is something that has been a part of me since I was a child. So growing up in a very tumultuous, abusive, traumatic household, I had to learn how to read people in order to know if I was safe. So when my dad came home from work, I needed to know, was he in a good mood or a bad mood? Had he been drinking or not? And so that way I could act accordingly and do my best to either stay away from him if he was already in a bad mood, or to not do or say anything that would potentially set him off and cause a rage of fire to happen in my house. So I also then would try to make the situation better. So if I understood that I was in a potentially dangerous situation with people who were maybe on the brink of not being happy, then I would do my best to do whatever it took to try to make them happy. So I would have to really be in tune with people's energy, which meant I was always taking their energy in. As I've come to understand that I'm a very empathic person, which I've always known that part, but to this degree where I took everybody's energy and had to always read everybody in any kind of situation I was in to know whether or not it was a safe environment, and then make adjustments accordingly to keep myself safe. After going through this spiritual awakening and healing those parts of myself that were fearful and people pleasing and energy room reading, types of experiences, then I've learned that I don't have to take on other people's energy, that I can, feel people's energy to know whether this is a safe person or a safe environment, but I don't have to take it in and then try to fix it. So since I've stopped doing that and been able to have healthier boundaries with energy and with people, I don't feel as drained being around a group of people. I actually love it, and it causes me more of that state of socialization euphoria. I don't know if that's a term, but that's what I'm calling it. Now believe that I am more on the extroverted side of the spectrum, but I do, I still have some characteristics that kind of fall in between, which apparently is called an ambivert. I'm learning so much. So I would be either an ambivert or more of an extrovert, because I no longer take on people's energies. So if you have always labeled yourself as an introvert, and still struggle with a lot of unconscious patterns of conditioning that cause you to have to read other people's energy and kind of attitudes to see where they're at in that particular moment in order to keep yourself safe, then you may also just be an empath and not actually introverted. It's just something to think about. If you did enjoy this video, hit the like button. Please subscribe for future videos and drop me a comment if something did resonate with you or if there's another topic that you would like me to discuss. And I will see you next time. Peace and love.